Some major spoilers for Solo, a Star Wars story ahead. You've been warned. You're probably at a channel called Superhero Video Games to see games about superheroes. So here's Shuma-Gorath, a crazy-looking tentacled creature best known from his appearances in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And here's a crazy-looking tentacled creature from Solo that's actually called a Suma Verminoth. Shuma meets Suma. Mr. Gorath meet Mr. Verminoth. Was Lucasfilm inspired by Marvel here? Probably not. But now let's delve into a Solo and video game related theory that's probably even less likely to be the case. Hey, Chris Baker here. You may know me as a guy who worked on Marvel video games for 7 years, but right before that I was at LucasArts for 3 years. If there's one thing I like more than superheroes, it's definitely Star Wars. And that absolutely applies to games as well. I'm very much on a Solo high right now, I've seen it twice, and my favorite, well, second favorite Easter egg in this Star Wars movie that's amazingly full of Easter eggs, seriously, this is more like a Marvel movie in that regard, it happens to be during the raid on Kessel. You know what I'm about to say. It's when Qi'ra pulls off a badass martial arts move and credits it to her training in Teras Kasi. It's a throwaway line to 98% of the people watching the movie, but the other 2% of us are totally geeking out about this reference to a Star Wars game that, well, it's a Star Wars game that exists. Masters of Teras Kasi was LucasArts' answer to games like Tekken and Virtua Fighter at the time. It just didn't work out so well. I'll leave any criticisms to the angry video game nerd, but it's interesting to note that there was at least some semblance of a story in it. Something about how some new character named Arden Lin, the actual master of Teras Kasi, taking it upon herself to defeat all of our rebel heroes one by one. And for some reason they fight amongst themselves. Or even they fight themselves. Who cares, it's a fighting game. Anyway, back to Arden Lin. The raven-haired martial arts specialist who likes to wear black and red. Hey, sounds like a movie I just saw. You don't think... Nah, can't be. You don't think that maybe Qi'ra becomes Arden Lin, do you? Yeah, me neither, but hear me out. I do think it could work. If there's one thing Solo did for hardcore fans, other than be a super fun movie starring one of cinema's greatest characters, it was validate material from outside the movies. Lots of material from outside the movies. I mean, Lando even mentions Sharu from this 1983 novel. You see this blue crystal skull from an old Han Solo book in Dryden's Lounge. The movie doesn't even say the name of the planet where Han meets Beckett and Chewie, but it's called Mimban, and that's the setting for the very first ever Star Wars book, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which came out in 1978, just a year after the original film. Those are some deep cuts. So why not go even deeper with Arden Lin? And of course, the movie dares to go there when it comes to canon established in modern animated series, most notably the appearance of Maul at the end. And speaking of our favorite Zabrak, it's pretty heavily implied that a future movie will include a major role for him, as Qi'ra goes to Dathomir to plan what's next for the Crimson Dawn. Side note, anyone else thinking about Psylocke when they hear that? No? Just me? So here's what happens when Qi'ra arrives at the home of Rancors and Night Sisters, Dathomir. Maul isn't pleased. He's kinda pissed actually, and he's all like, "You don't really need that arm. Allow me to remove it with my lightsaber." Then Qi'ra's all, "Ow, I need that arm." And Maul's all, "Hey, trust me, bionics are better. Everybody's doing it. Didn't you hear that one dude cry, 'No!' from Mustafar like 10 years ago? And Kira's all, "Thanks, but I feel like a different person now. And there's this one dude from my past who's kind of obsessed with me and will probably follow me around. Might as well change my name. Arden Lin works. Sure, I'll go with that." And there you have it. The reference is now complete.
I shall be triumphant.
Oh, and hey, remember how I said Teras Kasi was my second favorite reference only hardcore fans would get? My favorite was when Lando identified Beckett as the one who killed Aurra Singh. I literally said "whoa" out loud in the theater when this happened. Gamers, of course, remember Aurra Singh from Star Wars Demolition. Wait, no they don't. No one remembers that game. Anyway, she was in it, and it took place during the original trilogy era, so we now have absolute confirmation that Demolition is not officially canon. You were all wondering? Now you know. But let's keep hope alive for appearances in later movies from the likes of Tia and Gia. Wait, no, scratch that. Give us Thok and Hor. One final note on a Star Wars gaming tip. You know how there's an element of mystery building up to the Maul reveal? As it was happening, I had my hopes up for someone else established in the underworld through video games. Prince Xizor. Yeah, I know there was a book and a comic and all that too, but most of us watching this right now know him from the Nintendo 64 game. In terms of seeing that character in a movie, I guess I'll have to settle for this amazing scene from the highly underappreciated 1998 movie, Free Enterprise.
At least they finally got rid of all that Prince Xizor stuff from Shadows of the Empire.
It's Xizor.
Shut up, kid. You weren't even born when Star Wars came out.
You like Star Wars?
Yeah,
How old are you?
9.5.
Do you know what the problem is with you kids today? You guys think that all science fiction started in 1977 with Star Wars, man. What about movies like Forbidden Planet, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Solaris? What about Logan's Run? Did you ever see that?
I like Men in Black.
Okay, come on, kid. We got some work to do.
He will talk to just about anybody, won't he?
Yes, but it's rare that he meets his intellectual equal. Xizor. Oh no.
I hope you didn't mind this Star Wars related divergence from my typical superhero shtick, but it's my channel and I'll Jedi if I want to. Jedi are superheroes, right? Let me know what you think about Qi'ra becoming Arden Lin in the comments. Even if it could happen, would you want it to? Do you care? As for actual superhero gaming content, I have to let it be known that my output of videos is going to be slowing down for a while. When you work in the games industry, sometimes you gotta focus more on work than the fun little videos you do as a little side hobby. And I've got a rather huge project I'm working on that I'll let you know about more someday. It's pretty fun. So if you haven't already, follow Spider-Ham's advice. I'll see you next time.